Hello there, my friends. If you have any rodents in the house, I advise you to not let them watch this video, because today, we are making Wyrdstone. What is Wyrdstone, you ask? It's the stuff dreams are made of. Also called Warpstone, Wyrdstone is a rock of pure magic, and there are many who would do anything and pay anything to get some. It litters the streets of Mordheim, the city of the damned, and that's why today we are making Wyrdstone with cardboard and hot glue. I started off this build by making a little nugget shape out of melted hot glue from my hot glue gun. I'm not sure if this is necessary. You could probably just carve it off of a stick of unmelted hot glue, but the only stick I could find was already in the gun, so I went with that. We're making Wyrdstone tokens today. We're going to carve the hot glue into little rock and crystalline shards, and then make a base for them out of cardstock. I made 2 circles of cardstock for each token that I wanted to make, just using a regular circular base or any circular object you'd like as a template. After I cut out my pair of circles, I glued them together with some tacky glue. This is a good way to make bases out of cardboard. Bases, plastic bases aren't very expensive, but they're not free either, and they can add up. And so if you can help yourself out by making some little bases out of cardboard, absolutely. Once our nugget of hot glue is cooled down, we'll cut it into some pieces. I think I cut it into about 4 or 6 pieces. It depends on how big your little blob of hot glue is and how big you want your shards of Wyrdstone to be. And I tried to cut them at weird angles to try and give them more of a rock crystal shape. After that, I sorted them out into little groups of about 3 shards each for each token, and then paid particular attention on some of them and used the scissors to carve them into more of a broken shard. For the next step, we'll want to use our tweezers. I really don't recommend using your fingers, because we're going to use the hot tip of the glue gun and melt the bottom of each shard to attach it to the base. No extra glue necessary. Even with tweezers though, be sure that you're being careful so that you don't burn your fingers. And you only need to melt just a little bit of the glue to be able to stick it onto our cardboard base. What do you think so far, my friends? Do these look like good tokens to represent the shards of Wyrdstone we find in our games of Mordheim? As with many of my projects, these tokens are inspired by the work of art that was the original Mordheim box game, which came with little cardboard Wyrdstone tokens. And so while these look good for small shards, let's make some big pieces of Wyrdstone too, the kind that drives both man and rat man alike into a frenzy of wealth and power. And so we'll make a few tokens with bigger pieces of Wyrdstone, just the same as we made the others, just using a bigger blob of hot glue and bigger chunks to start. But other than that, we'll do it exactly the same way. Once we've got all of our tokens made, the detail step for this craft is exceptionally easy. We'll paint some glue onto the base and sprinkle on some sand. I like to pat it down just a little bit with my finger to help it adhere. Then we'll shake off the excess and wait for it to dry. Naturally, you can repeat this step for however many tokens you're making. Once the sand and glue have dried, we'll take some black paint mixed with glue or Mod Podge to use as a primer. We'll start by painting the crystals, the rocks, the shards of Wyrdstone, and I strongly recommend doing that before you paint the dirt. That way we keep our smooth, clear crystal textures for the Wyrdstone and don't get extra sand and dirt on there. I always paint the rim of my bases, both on the side and underneath, for a little bit of added durability. I usually have a fan going in my hovel for air circulation, and it helps the primer to dry faster. I'll hold on to like one little bit of the token, paint all the rest, and then after the first layer of primer we've painted on is dried, you can hold on to the other side and finish the rest of the token. And then after all the black primer has dried, we'll finish our detail stage by giving each piece a thorough dry brush of white. And this will set us up to get very good results in our painting step. For painting our tokens, we're going to use some very thin watered down paints, starting with a brown, which we'll use to paint the dirt on the bases. With one layer, you can see how we're already getting several different shades from lighter to dark. Then what we'll do is take our same thin down brown and stipple it randomly around for even more variation. Then, taking a very thin down, medium-ish green paint, we'll carefully paint our Wyrdstone shards with that. And just like with the dirt, you can see with the Wyrdstone how the work we did with our priming and highlighting gives us several different shades. It gives us a lighter green on the top, it gives us a darker green in the recesses, and it looks very much like a mystical, glowing, magical stone with just one little layer of thin down green paint. I tend to record my videos late at night, and I think there's an owl outside of the cave I've been living in, so if you hear any random hooting, that's why. I swear it's not me. Although, for a hilarious joke, tell your friends and loved ones that someone said they looked like an owl. Trust me, they'll love it. While the green on our Wyrdstone dried, I dry brushed the bases with a light gray to pick out some of the little rocks and stones found in the dirt. And then to finish the base, we'll give a very, very light dry brush using an off-white paint. We only need a teeny bit, so I use the paint from a dropper bottle technique that I controversially introduced in a video a while back. Very lightly apply this because we don't want to overdo it. We just want to give a little bit more interest to the little rocks and stones. After that, to highlight our Wyrdstone, we'll take a light green and also very lightly dry brush it on there, in particular focusing on the jagged edges, the sharp lines that make our Wyrdstone shards look like broken pieces of rock. Finally, to give a magical shine to our pieces of Wyrdstone, I lightly painted on a gloss coat. I use this gloss Mod Podge, but you could use regular white glue, you could use a nail polish clear coat. Whatever you have will work great. At this point, after it dried, I felt like on some of the shards I'd overdone the light green, and so I took some very thin down black paint, like a little black wash, and just dabbed it in a few spots to add a little more contrast, a little more darker dark, which makes the lights look even brighter and more magical. With my tendency to go overboard on projects, I ended up making 12 tokens. And for the final step, to help them stand out on the tabletop, I painted the rims of each base black. What do you think, my friends? Have you found any other cool ways to make Wyrdstone tokens? Little bits of Warpstone to add to your games? Do these look like they'd be worth it? Risking life and limb on the streets of Mordheim to find the precious Wyrdstone? They sure do to me, and I am an ancient, mystical elf man, certainly not a goblin-y rat man on the inside. And while these are inspired by and made for Mordheim, they certainly aren't limited to that. Treasure tokens, little magic tokens, can be used in many, many games. Like in Forbidden Psalm, they can represent the treasure you find, the weird mushrooms, maybe weird stones you have to find for a crazy wizard to make his tea. Treasure tokens in Frostgrave, you name it, they can work for your favorite games. Thanks for being a part of this with me, my friends, and thanks for watching. Take care until next time.